Hey, what's up, guys? A couple of you asked me to make this video of how to combine two image LoRa's into one without having it blend. So I'm going to show you how to do that. As you can see, this is a picture of me and my wife skydiving. Neither of us have been skydiving, so this is not a real picture. So I'm going to show you how to do it. So couple of things. First off, this assumes that you've already made a trainer in LoRa. It assumes you already know how to generate images with your LoRa. I'm not going to go over that here because it's a lot of information. If you haven't done that, go look at some of Jonathan Mass' videos, and I'll post links to them. You have to have created you already have to have created the LoRa models, run the trainer on the number of images that you want to face swap. So if for me, I wanted to do couples, so I've got one for me and one for my wife. Make sure you go ahead and copy those paths. So copy your LoRa path, which you can get here. Copy the LoRa name, which is everything from this last slash to the last dot, which is, if you're doing your LoRa train here, I think they all end in this URL. If yours doesn't, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to figure it out. Chat GPT it for the win. And then also write down your prompt word for each of these. So this one is ASEP. You're going to want all of that easy to access because you're going to have to be copying and pasting those back and forth. So go ahead and generate a prompt. You can find the best way to do it however you want. Chat GPT or some of the custom GPTs that have been created are good at it. I'm just showing you how to do it, so I'm not going to get super crazy with it. So we're just going to do a middle-aged man, very tall, and he is waving at the beach. So on these settings, again, this isn't a video about all these settings. I can just kind of tell you what I've been using, around 30 and around 12. The first thing you want to do, I actually found you can do as many more images here. You want to generate a seed because sometimes you have to stick with the same seed, and you want to you can remember to refresh this if you don't like what you're getting. But you want it to, the seed, what it does is it keeps the images consistent. So if you just tweak one thing, it will be the same image just with that one tweak. So that helps when you're debugging what's going on, I've found. So this is just a basic prompt just to make sure that this model is working. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go into your first trigger. So for me, that's this path right here, this LoRa right here. And what you want to do, so these are all fine and dandy, whatever. But I want to add my wife, and I remembered I've done a bunch of crazy photos. We did skydiving, we did synchronized swimming. So I want to do something that's kind of fun, and we were talking about recreating our wedding. So I'm going to do a middle-aged man ASAP. That's my trigger word. And again, I'm not sure how this works. It seems like it's just replacing your face with everybody. A middle-aged man ASAP is marrying a middle-aged woman at the beach. Let's do it at a church and a Catholic and a cathedral. Maybe we just keep it simple and see what that does for us. Hopefully that gives us something we can work with. And this will cost money, but literally I've been probably generating hundreds of images and only use like $20. So, probably takes about $20 or $30 to get decent with it. All right. These are hilarious. Okay, so none of these look like a woman on the right, and that means that I'm probably going a little too heavy with this. And let's run it again with a new seed. And I might have to change the scale in a second and see if that works. And I'll show you what you're looking for. So as you can see, if you've got an image with multiple people, it's applying this LoRa to every single face in the model. And there's not really a good way to get it to stop. So I'm going to use this picture here. And I'm going to tell you why. So I'm okay with the face. This isn't one I would probably use. I mean, because I don't look that great, but I don't want to spend like, 5 minutes trying to find a good picture of me. I just want to show you the process so that you can do it on your own. So pick one that you like, a picture that you like, where you like yourself, and you like in general where the person that you also want to replace is in relation to you. And I can also tell you, and there's some ways to fix this too, I might show you in another video, where you can mask this guy out or crop this guy out. But the beauty of doing it this way is that you get to choose where you want to replace the next face, and you can do it incrementally. I'm assuming it works with 3 or more people too. I just haven't tried that personally. So what we're going to do, first off, you want to save this image, and you're going to save it. I'm saving it in a combined thing, and I'll just call it wedding and cathedral. So you save that image there, and it doesn't really matter what this person looks like too much, especially in the face. It's gonna look like you, which is weird, right? You don't like that, but you're gonna basically mask out this person, and you're gonna replace them with your trained person. So as long as in general you like the position, it's a little weird with body positions, but this is good because you'll see what happens. So now what we do is we go to if you go to fal.ai and you go up here and you click explore, you can type in this box in paint or in painting, and you get this Flux LoRa end painting thing. Go ahead and click that, and I'll show you what to do. So don't worry about the prompt right now. What you want to do now is you want to add the path of your second LoRa. This would be my wife in this case. And you add that path here, and we're going to add the picture that we just saved. So in this case, it is, some of these are weird. You can see we did a bodybuilding one too. Where's the wedding and cathedral? All right, so we have the picture. Now we're going to go to mask your URL and hit create. And if this background picture doesn't come up, just hit add reference and it should pop right up here. And what you're going to do is you give it a little brush and you're going to mask out this thing. You know what? I'm going to cancel it and show you what I did the first time. So you can just do just the face. And I've had mixed results with that. I'll show you what happens, and then I'll show you what I do now. So come down here to more, and again, I usually like to match the settings of what I just did. So in this case, I did 30 and 8, and you also want to copy your seed, and I'll tell you why in a second. So let me paste my seed in here, and I'm going to change that. It's already at 30, and I'm going to change this to 8. The reason why I do that is because if you generate a seed with your second trainer, it's going to, if you did the exact same prompt, it would generate the exact same image just with this face. So I think it's always a good start to try to do that, and then you can play around with it from there. But this just says a middle-aged man is marrying a middle-aged woman in a cathedral, and I just said photo of April Sepp getting married in a cathedral. And remember, this is the path of your second trainer, and I put the trigger word in there, although I don't think that really matters either. And because basically what it's doing is anywhere that you created that mask, which is over my wife's face, it's going to try to replace that with your trainer. And the degree that it does that is with some of these settings. So the strength determines kind of like what happens with the image, and you can add scale to this to determine something. I'm not even really sure, to be honest. It's worth playing with little chunks at a time, because sometimes it makes stuff work and sometimes it breaks stuff. You'll see some of the challenges that we have here while we're doing this. Okay, so yeah, let's look at some of these. Like, this is just weird, right? Like, it's my wife's face is kind of big, and it's definitely not her hairstyle, which You may like or not like, depending on what you're going for. That's just a weird face. And this one's like kind of fuzzy, but it's okay. I mean, it works. You can see. Now what it's done is taken my wife's face and pasted it on here and given her this lady's hair, which you may or may not appreciate. And there are some examples of where you might want that. My wife's hair is more this color, and you're gonna see when I change the mask. This might work for you. Let me just show you some different things you can do. I'm gonna copy that in case I need it again. You just try just doing a random seed and seeing what that does to see how that changes the look. Sometimes just changing the seed is enough where you get a good image. Unfortunately, this takes a couple seconds because we did a lot of steps, but I think it's important to show you like what it's doing here. If I lower this CFG, we'll get like wildly different stuff going on in the picture. And if I raise it, we'll get something that looks more like my wife. So let's put it at 13 just for once so you can see what it looks like. And then I'm going to change the, mask and go back to those original settings so you can get an idea of what it looks like if you do it a different way. So I don't know that these really changed a whole lot. Yeah, it didn't really change a lot, just kind of changed my wife's face a little bit. So I'm going to put everything back to 30 and 8, and I am going to change our seed back to what it was. And then I'm going to do what I mentioned, which is create a mask. And this time I'm going to make the mask like larger than the area that she's getting replaced out of. And the reason you do that, because if you really want it to generate a totally new image, like with their body type, especially with their hair and their face, you have to give it room to change things, and you have to change the things you don't like. So in this case, they can change her dress, her necklace, and her hair, and the face, and and neck, and I'll be all cool with all of that. It probably will still do a green dress and a necklace, but and maybe even have a shorter hair, but it'll look much more like my wife when we run this. At least I hope. So let's see what happens here. Also, sometimes if you create a mask and you create it just around a certain area, you might see the face bleed out and it just kind of stops and it just looks weird, and you don't want that. So this is exactly what I was talking about. So, I mean, that actually looks like my wife. Her hair is a little short, but that's what her hair looks like. Again, ooh, these are nice because they have short hair. My wife does not have short hair, and but that does look, that looks like a picture of me and my wife. Like you could pass that off as a picture. I look a little plasticky, whatever. But they're keeping the style of the picture, but changing it to my wife. I would imagine that if I change this 8 up to a 12, it's going to start to, I'm expecting the hair is going to start changing and looking more like my wife's hair, which is a little longer and a little wavier. I could be totally wrong. I'm going live with this, so if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Yeah, I guess I'm kind of wrong. It's still short. Trying to see what's different. The eyes look a little weird now. And you're going to get a lot of artifacts with eyes. You're going to get just a lot of weird things in general. Especially hands sometimes have a lot of mistakes. People in the background have mistakes. I'm not really sure what's going on with this right now. But I'm going to put it back down to 8 or maybe 9. And I'm going to add in here, she has long, wavy hair. Let's see what that does. Oh, the other thing it didn't do is I didn't change the seed. So I'll go back to like a 12 and change the seed and see what happens. But this, you can change the prompt, you can change the seed, you can change the CFG, you can sometimes change the inference steps, but I found less with that. And then you can change the strength, does really weird things if you take it high. I haven't played with this enough to know that it really made that much a difference. But the scale, if you make small changes to that, can sometimes make a big difference. So this is changing the prompt, and the prompt added her. That is definitely her hair, more so of her hair. That's more of my wife's hair. So these are definitely more like her hair for sure. The other thing we can do is we can take that part off and change the seed and just see what happens. And again, you just get different looks this way. Remember, this is not me saying wavy hair, but you can see it did change. And I think the reason that's changing is because I upped this a bit and changed the seed. You can change the CFG to look, as this goes up, it starts to look more and more like your trained person. So let me just put this at 11 and see what happens. And I'll change the seed. And let's just see what happens. You got to play with it. And I've only been playing with it a day, so I am in no means an expert. And I know there's also some other in-painting I don't know what you call them, but the little apps over here. And there's some more sophisticated ones that let you make a lot more different decisions. Oh, these are cool. A lot different decisions, get more customized with it. I don't know enough of those settings. But this is basically it. Kind of showed you what to do. And yeah, go ahead and start playing with it.